Hello, friends. I am David Melton, one of the associate pastors at Dunwoody United Methodist Church, and today is Thursday, June the 4th, and this is your Dunwoody Daily. Over the last several weeks, I have been looking at God's world, and it seems like each day the issues and the concerns and the problems grow. I have been wrestling with those issues and concerns and trying to figure out what it is that I can do to make a difference in God's world. And unfortunately, I don't think at times that I can make a difference. There are times that I feel inadequate, that I don't feel like I have the gifts, the talents, and the graces that can make a difference. I look at others around me and I think that they are so much stronger than I am, that they have voices that can be heard, that they have the talents and the gifts and the graces that can make the difference. I look at the clergy staff here at Dunwoody United Methodist Church and I see Dan and Kathy, Calissa and Josh, and think there are so many times that they can preach and teach and lead so much better than I can. But even in the midst of those things that I feel like I'm inadequate doing, I also know that God has called me as a child of God to do all that I can to make a difference in God's world, to use the gifts and the graces and the talents that God has given me to make a difference, one by one or one large group at a time, the best that I can. Several weeks ago, I told you that I have in my Bible many clippings and many articles and prayers that I have picked up over the years, and at times I pull one of those out to share with you and with others. I found out there are a number of you in our congregation who also do the same thing, and this past week, one of our members sent me and Joy a clipping that I thought would be appropriate for today. It came from Carolyn Snelling, and I think it addresses the issue that I'm talking about today for my own life as I look at the inadequacies that I feel like I have. This is entitled Something to Remember. The next time you feel like God can't use you, just remember. Noah was a drunk. Abraham was too old. Isaac was a dreamer. Jacob was a liar. Leah was ugly. Joseph was abused. Moses had a stuttering problem. Gideon was afraid. Samson had long hair and was a womanizer. Rahab was a prostitute. Jeremiah and Timothy were too young. David had an affair and was a murderer. Elijah was suicidal. Isaiah preached naked. Jonah ran from God. Naomi was a widow. Job went bankrupt. Peter denied Christ. The disciples fell asleep while praying. Martha worried about everything. The Samaritan woman was divorced more than once. Zacchaeus was too small. Timothy had an ulcer, and Lazarus was dead. Now you see, you have no more excuses. God can use you. Besides, you aren't the message, you are the messenger. In the circle of God's love, God is waiting to use you to your full potential. That means me and you, that God is calling each one of us to be faithful to God's call upon our lives. Each one of us is called to be a faithful, fully devoted follower of Jesus Christ. And so at this time, even though we don't feel adequate to make a huge difference in the world, we can make a difference if we would just let God lead us and we follow. May God bless you this day. Amen.